first of all, I guess you guys are talking about that growing pool that's not looking for work. Have you noticed that in the current election campaign that's going on in the United States, when they quote unemployment figures, that is a section that they're also adding in their quotation, people who are not looking for work. Because generally, I suppose they're frustrated, they're turned off, and so they're not looking for work. That is one. Two, Taiwan, one of the wealthiest countries in the world. They don't have the beauty that we have here and a lot of the resources, but, you know, they have become one of the wealthiest countries in the world simply because they decided to put their focus, I understand, on education a few years ago.
Yes.
And it's really paid off big time for them.
Yeah.
Justin?
George, this is a very salient point. Because, for example, Adam Smith, the founder of modern economics, said that if you want to become wealthy, the formula for wealth is equal to your physical resources times your technology times what is called your distinctive value. So what physical resources, what natural resources you have in your country, oil or gold or whatever. In Grenada, we have lots of natural resources. We have the sun, we have the sea, we have agriculture, we have our intellect. We are very bright people. Okay, so we have to use that to create employment. Okay, so we have to use that. So, and we blend that with technology, and just as Taiwan, for example, Japan for 20 years, Japan was the richest country in the world. It had no gold, no diamond, no natural resources, just education. So we can do it here because we're small people. We are 110,000 persons.
But the bottom line is that you're going to have to change your mindset.
Exactly.
Curlan, do we have the will to change that mindset?
Yes, we have the will, and I think your generation and my generation, we are existing still. There is hope. We just have to be persistent to be able to change the will of the people. No. What happened is that Justine generation and my generation can. Dr. Bokma's generation can. We can change the will. All right? But on a more serious note, we have to address the issue of the labor market. And I know the Ministry of Labor at one point was trying to forge this partnership between tripartite relation between employer and employee, you know, to share and the trade union council, you know, to really share information. Yeah. Because one of the problems we have is the lack of information.
Exactly.
There are areas where you have surplus, but nobody knows.
Exactly.
It's information sharing. We don't have a good institutional arrangement for making information available for areas where there is need for a shortage of jobs or job supply.
Is that a situation that's endemic here in the Caribbean? And let me tell you the reason why I'm asking. I just came back from St. Kitts a couple of days ago. I was attending a conference on climate change, and there was talk. One of the recommendations coming out of that conference was possibly legislating the sharing of information, because there's a lot of information out there about climate change. But this group feels this is my information, that group feels that it's my information, I'm not going to share. So you guys are faced with a similar situation here?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct, George. And what I have a theory. Okay, I've been sort of discussing my theory, with the government of Kosovo and other governments that we deal with. The challenge I tell people, I think I mentioned that to Curlan, we have a challenge with planning. Okay, George, planning in the OECs, in Grenada, and these small states is decentralized. Each ministry has their own planning unit: Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Fisheries, to develop and develop quickly. It should not be like that. Planning should be centralized. So all the information should be fed from it should be from one source. You should have, for example, a ministry or a department of planning, something similar to the NIS, National Insurance Scheme, a statutory body. You should have, for example, a planning institute of Grenada. So all the bright minds, all the planners in the country should be focused in one central place and plan for the country 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now. What will Grenada be in 20 years, in 30 years? We don't know. But if you have a central planning unit that plans for the country, I mean, it will be better for Grenada and the rest of the OACS. And so all the information at least will be stored.
Let me ask you this, Justine. I'm not sure that we really touched on it to any great extent, but to what extent is migration a factor in the labor situation we have here in the